Welcome to Symbols and Synchronicity, a space where we decode the hidden language of the world and uncover the deeper meanings woven into the objects we carry. Today we are looking at a single blue object that bridges the gap between the earth beneath our feet and the stars above our heads. Before you is a small cylinder of Lapis Lazuli, unearthed from the silent dust of Mesopotamia. To the eyes of the ancients, this was a fragment of the sky itself, a piece of the celestial floor that had fallen to earth to be held by human hands. They called it the Stone of Heaven, and they treated it as the physical anchor for a person's truth. Every person carried one, resting against their skin, absorbing the heat and the rhythm of their life. It was a sacred agreement between the wearer and the universe, a silent witness that watched every choice and held the weight of a name before the written word ever existed. This blue stone served as the first signature of the human spirit, an identity carved into the bones of the earth. The surface of the stone is carved in reverse, a mirror image of a story waiting to be told. When you press the cylinder into wet clay and roll it forward, the scene unfurls in a continuous rising relief. It depicts a human being, small and steady, being led by the hand of a winged guide toward a seated figure of great wisdom. Because of its circular shape, the story has no edge and no horizon. As the stone turns, the end of the journey meets the beginning in a perfect, unbroken loop. The ancients used this motion to mirror the cycles of the natural world, the return of the seasons, the rising of the moon, and the repeating patterns of our own behavior. To roll the seal was to participate in the great cycle, a reminder that our lives are a series of circles where every ending is simply the soil for a new beginning. Deep within the blue of the lapis lazuli lie scattered flecks of golden pyrite, tiny inclusions that the ancients recognized as stars trapped within the stone. These stars served as a spiritual barometer for the person who wore them. When the stone was bright and the gold sparkled clearly, it indicated that the wearer walked in harmony with their own nature and the laws of the sky. However, the stone is sensitive to the world around it. If the blue became clouded or the gold flecks turned a dull, tarnished green, the owner viewed it as an omen of a darkening interior. This change in the stone was a quiet warning that the person had drifted from their truth or allowed their integrity to fray. It was a sign to stop, to look inward, and to clear the shadows from their heart before the stars in their hand could shine once again. In the marketplaces and temples of the ancient world, the mark left by this stone was a person's word made visible. To roll your seal onto a tablet of grain or a letter of agreement was to bind your spirit to that action. The clay acted as a witness, holding the shape of your intent long after your hands had left the surface. Because the seal was an extension of the soul, breaking a dried clay impression was seen as a violent act against the person who placed it there. It was a breach of the sacred trust that holds a community together. To respect the seal was to respect the life of the one who owned it, acknowledging that every human being carries a unique signature that deserves to be protected. This blue mark served as a boundary, a promise that the truth of the individual would remain intact within the collective life of the city. We often think of our lives as a straight line, but the ancient cylinder seal reminds us that we are actually living in a series of repeating patterns. Every morning, we wake up and roll our personal signature across the soft clay of a new day. We choose which stories to repeat and which impressions to leave behind on the people we meet and the earth we walk upon. If you find yourself caught in a cycle that no longer serves you, remember that the stone is in your hand and the clay of your life is still wet. You have the power to polish the stone, to realign with your inner stars, and to carve a new narrative of grace. We are all artists of our own reality, leaving a blue signature on the fabric of time that only we can create. Thank you for joining me at Symbols and Synchronicity. If this exploration of the ancient blue seal resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps us continue to uncover the hidden language of the world together. Until next time, keep watching for the patterns.